If you're going through a divorce and everyone is telling you to think of the kids, I need to tell you something they won't. I'm a man, and I'm the son of a divorced mother who left when I was 13. And for years, I hated her for it. I thought she was selfish. I thought she gave up. I thought she destroyed our family for her own reasons. I testified against her in court at 13. I told the judge she mistreated us. I chose to live with my father, and I spent the next 12 years believing she was the villain in our story. I was wrong. She wasn't giving up on us. She was refusing to teach us that love looks like suffering in silence. She wasn't destroying our family. She was escaping a man who had already destroyed her. And the reason I hated her for so long? Because my father spent every day after the divorce making sure I would. If you're going through a divorce right now, this video is going to show you what's actually happening, what he's going to do, what your kids are thinking, and why leaving is not the failure. Staying would have been. By the end of this video, you'll understand the psychology of divorce from every angle. His, yours, and the children caught in the middle. And you'll know why the guilt you're feeling right now is a weapon someone else put in your hands. I know. Clarity is gold. And you need it right now more than ever. Before I break this down, I need to tell you what this video is. This is not how to divorce well. This is not co-parenting advice. This is not about winning custody or protecting your assets. This is about what's happening in your head, his head, and your children's heads right now. Because divorce is not a legal process. It's a psychological war. And you're fighting an opponent who has no interest in the truth. I watched this war from the inside. I was the child weaponized against my mother. And I'm going to show you exactly what he's going to do, why it works, and what happens years later when the smoke clears and the truth becomes unavoidable. So let me show you what you think is happening versus what's actually happening. Here's what you think right now. You're destroying your family. You're the one choosing to leave. You're the one who couldn't make it work. You're the one who gave up, and that makes you the villain. You're hurting your kids. They need their father. They need an intact family. They need stability. And by leaving, you're taking that away from them. You're being selfish. You're prioritizing your own happiness over the family. You're putting your needs first. You're not strong enough to stay and make it work. He's going to change. If you just gave him one more chance, if you were just more patient, if you tried harder, maybe he'd finally become the man you need him to be. Here's what's actually happening. You're not destroying your family. You're escaping a man who was destroying you. And your family was already broken. It just looked intact from the outside. You're not hurting your kids. You're showing them what it looks like when someone refuses to accept unacceptable treatment. You're teaching them, through your actions, that suffering is not love. You're not being selfish. You're being sane. You're drawing a line between what you'll tolerate and what you won't. And the fact that he convinced you that having standards is selfish tells you everything you need to know about him. And he's not going to change. I know you want to believe that. I know you've seen glimpses of the man he could be. But here's the truth. He showed you who he is for years. And you leaving is not the catalyst that will transform him. It's the consequence he's been earning the whole time. Let me show you what he's actually thinking right now. Here's what's happening in his mind the moment you said you're leaving. Phase 1. Shock and denial. His brain cannot compute that you're actually serious. You've threatened before. You've been upset before. But you always stayed. So he thinks this is just another fight that he can smooth over with apologies and promises. Phase 2. Rage and blame. When he realizes you're not coming back, the rage comes. Not because he loves you, but because you're disrupting his comfortable life. You were the infrastructure. You managed the house, the kids, his emotional chaos, and now you're taking that away. So he's angry, not at himself for losing you, but at you for leaving him. Phase 3. The performance. This is where it gets dangerous. He will suddenly become the man you always wanted him to be. He'll cry. He'll apologize. He'll promise to change. He'll go to therapy. He'll say all the right things. Why? Because his ego cannot handle being left. Not because he wants you back, but because he wants to prove he could have kept you if he wanted to. Phase 4. The smear campaign. When the performance doesn't work, he'll destroy your reputation to protect his. He'll tell everyone you're crazy, that you're selfish, that you gave up on the family, that he tried everything but you wouldn't cooperate. He'll rewrite history and position himself as the victim, and people will believe him because he's very good at performing. I watched my father execute all 4 phases, and it worked. On me, on the family, on the neighbors. He convinced everyone that my mother was the problem, but here's what I didn't see then. He wasn't a victim. He was a narrator, and he controlled the story because my mother was too exhausted to defend herself. Here's the part that's going to hurt the most, and I need you to hear this from someone who lived it. Your kids might choose him at first, not because he's the better parent, but because he's going to be the fun parent, the weekend parent, the one who doesn't enforce bedtimes or homework or vegetables, the one who buys them things and takes them places and makes them feel special. You're going to be the one stuck with reality, the weekday grind, the discipline, the homework battles, the "no, you can't have that." And they're going to resent you for it, and he's going to use that. He's going to whisper in their ears, "Your mom left us. Your mom broke up the family. I wanted us to stay together, but she chose this." And they're going to believe him. I believed my father. For 12 years, I believed him. Here's what was actually happening. My mother was the only one who loved me enough to enforce boundaries. My father performed love through food and freedom and fun, but he didn't actually parent me. He performed for me. My mother gave me consistency, structure, reality, and I hated her for it, because she couldn't compete with the dopamine hit of fun dad. But here's what happened over time. By the time I was 20, I started noticing things. My father's love was conditional. When I achieved, he was proud. When I struggled, he was distant. His care for me wasn't about me. It was about what I reflected back to him. My mother's love was steady, quiet, unglamorous, and it didn't require me to perform. By the time I was 25, I understood. My father didn't love me. He loved the version of me that made him look good. My mother loved me even when I hated her, even when I testified against her, even when I chose him. Your kids are going to figure this out too. It's just going to take time, and in the meantime, you're going to have to endure being the villain in a story he's writing. And that's the hardest part of leaving. Quick pause. If you're going through this right now, if you're feeling the guilt and the doubt and the fear, hit subscribe. I'm building her psyche for women who need clarity in the chaos. Only subscribe if this resonates. Let's continue. The guilt you're feeling right now, the "what about the kids" guilt, the "I'm destroying the family" guilt, the "maybe I should try harder" guilt, that's not your conscience. That's his voice in your head. He spent years training you to prioritize his comfort over your sanity, to believe that your needs are secondary, to feel guilty for having boundaries. And now that you're leaving, that training is working exactly as intended. You're questioning yourself. You're wondering if you're making a mistake. You're thinking maybe you should give him one more chance. Let me tell you what one more chance looks like. One more chance means more years of walking on eggshells, more years of managing his moods, more years of teaching your children that love looks like endurance, more years of dying slowly while pretending you're fine. And here's what your kids will learn if you stay. Your daughters will learn. Women tolerate bad treatment because family is more important than dignity. Your sons will learn. Men don't have to change because women will stay anyway. That's the legacy of staying. Not stability, not sacrifice, generational trauma. The legacy of leaving is this. You showed them what it looks like when someone chooses their own dignity over a comfortable lie. You showed them that love does not require suffering. You showed them that boundaries are not cruelty. And one day, when they're adults navigating their own relationships, they will thank you for teaching them that lesson, even if right now they hate you for it. Here's what I need you to know about what happens after. The first year's going to be brutal. You're going to doubt yourself constantly. You're going to see him at pickups and he's going to look fine, happy even. And you're going to wonder if you made a mistake. You didn't. He looks fine because he doesn't process emotions the way you do. He's not reflecting. He's not grieving. He's just moving on to the next thing. And that might feel like proof that he never cared. And you'd be right. Your kids are going to be angry. They're going to blame you. They're going to say things like, "I wish you never left," or "Dad never would have done this." And it's going to gut you every single time. But here's what's happening beneath the surface. They're learning, slowly, quietly, through observation. They're going to notice that you're the one who shows up, that you're the one who remembers the details, that you're the one who asks how they're feeling, not just how they're performing. They're going to notice that his love comes with conditions, that his attention is unpredictable, that his version of parenting is performance, not presence. And one day, maybe when they're 20, maybe when they're 25, they're going to come to you and they're going to say, "I understand now. You were right to leave. I said those words to my mother when I was 24. In a letter, after 12 years of hating her. And she said, 'I always knew you would.' She waited 12 years for me to see the truth. And she never stopped loving me while she waited." That's what you're signing up for. Not immediate vindication, but the long, painful, faithful work of being the parent who tells the truth while he tells the story. If you're going through a divorce right now, I need you to hear this. You are not failing. You are not giving up. You are not destroying your family. You are drawing a line. You are saying, "This far and no further." You are choosing sanity over performance. You are choosing reality over the illusion of stability. And your kids might not understand it now. They might choose him. They might hate you. They might believe his version of the story, but you're not leaving for them. Not right now. You're leaving for you, because you cannot teach them self-respect if you don't have it yourself. And one day they will understand. One day, they will look back and realize you were the only one who loved them enough to disrupt the pattern. You were the only one brave enough to stop pretending. You were the only one who showed them what it looks like to choose yourself when everyone is telling you not to. That's the inheritance you're leaving them. Not a broken family, but the blueprint for how to break the cycle. So here's what we covered. You're not destroying your family by leaving. You're refusing to teach your kids that suffering is love. He's going to perform, rage, smear, and manipulate, because that's what people do when they lose control. Your kids might choose him at first, because he's going to be the fun parent, but over time, they'll see who was actually there. And the guilt you're feeling? That's his weapon, not your conscience. Here's the truth I need you to leave with. The best gift you can give your children is showing them what it looks like when someone refuses to accept unacceptable treatment. Even when it's hard. Even when they hate you for it. Even when you're alone. This is her psyche. I'm the son who testified against his mother and spent 12 years regretting it. And I'm telling you, you're doing the right thing. I'm building this for emotionally intelligent women who need the truth. If this resonates, subscribe. Next video: the psychology of co-parenting with a narcissist. How to protect yourself and your kids. Drop a heart if you're going through this right now. You're not alone, and you're not wrong. Your rewiring starts here.